Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Gamma Ray podcast. Tim hanging out with Justin.
How's it going, everybody?
Okay, guys, and we're back from another little technical hiatus. This time we didn't really want to take the time off, but
No,
circumstances being what they were, I don't think
no,
the
we had just came back.
technology did not want us to do this episode. Maybe it's cursed. God, I hope it's not cursed. That'd be the worst thing ever.
With the amount of trouble we've had with this one, yes, it's probably is cursed at least a little bit.
All right, and now that we're back, we're kind of going back into like the spiritual realm, right? So we're gonna get into the succubus,
Which
and
is something I've been trying to get this dude to do for like at least 3 to 4 months. And I did the research on it like 8 months ago.
you've been complaining about it for the entire 8 months. It just accelerated, and it
Like
got,
I started dropping
worse
hints
and worse over time.
while we were recording.
Yeah, I ignored every one of those.
I know you did.
See, the thing is that I do the editing, and Justin doesn't know that I edited all of that out of the show every time.
Probably.
Every time he brings up that or the chupacabra, it gets bleeped out, completely erased.
Not even
like
edited.
it never happened.
As I say, not even edited, just one long bleep
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I if I could,
with like subtitles. He's talking about the chupacabra.
if I could, I'd put it on the thumb drive and launch it into the sun. Like every time he brought it up, like all the edited clips that I have. But the succubus is you got to get this part right, man. The succubus is the female version. So there's the incubus and then there's the succubus. Incubus, everybody knows, they're that great band. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great. Let's put some air quotes around that.
Some like that "Nice to Know You" song. They're smashed. They smashed it. They were great. Now we're talking about the succubus. Oh, that's the female version.
Yeah,
Get it right. You got to get it right. So, like as always, like if you don't know what a succubus is, that's kind of what we're here to do. We're here to tell you a little bit about it. The succubus is a Latin origination, at least the word of it is, right? And I can't do it without the Italian accent. I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a little bit of a thing. I can't do it without it. It comes from the Latin root word "supercabra." Supercabra. Yeah, and I have to do like the Mamma Mia.
Oh
fingers.
yeah,
Like I gotta do it every time. I can't help it. It's automatic, man. Like anytime, like I would try to say something like even like Super Mario. You're like, oh, let's go.
it's a Super Mario.
I have to do the fingers with it. I have to do it. I don't even think about it anymore. It's automatic. I mean, I'm sure that's racist in some way, but it's just
I'm
my
sure
body
it is,
automatically
yes.
does it. And so what they did was though is that essentially they took one word and kind of all encompassed everything that this thing does, right? So the Latin word means to lie beneath, which is a very apt description.
Oh yeah. I mean, they couldn't have gotten any more like direct if they tried.
Yeah, I guess if they just put like sex demon, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
that,
Yeah,
that kind
just
of
like
nails it too. But
sex demon who seduces you.
But the fact that they put it in like it means lie beneath, which is the implied sexual position of the demon, is hilarious. That they picked the position, but like no description of what you're actually looking at. You know what I mean? Like they just like no, it loves missionary.
Yeah.
I think we're focusing on the wrong things here.
Yeah.
You
No.
know? But what does it look like? Like how do we tell people what to look for? That doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, don't. You're worrying about the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we're grasping at straws. You know what I mean? We're splitting hairs.
Just know, if a woman comes up to you and tries to have sex with you and she's on her back, you're
Don't do it.
probably getting your soul stolen from you.
Oh God. That's why I'm an empty shell. So in modern terms though, like if you were to like go to Google and search succubus, good luck. Have your safe search on just in case your significant other decides to check a browsing history one time because it's going to come up with some wild
Oh
shit.
yeah. Yeah, don't do what I did. Safe search off. Wife walks in. No, it's for research.
He's got to duplicate it on every screen that he's got. So no matter, he's got a 180-degree view of it the entire time.
It's on my computer, my monitor, my phone.
Boy, I wish you had bat wings. Why don't you have bat wings? Why do you always disappoint me? If you search it, it's gonna come up, especially like it's gonna come up with like the modern view of it, right? Where it's like a beautiful, voluptuous chick who has long, wavy hair, usually dark. Her, she's curves in all the right places, and like like that smooth, silky, like almost like porcelain skin.
Yeah, like perfect.
Yeah,
Like no imperfections, nothing like that.
I mean it's all lies.
Oh
Every bit
yeah,
of it.
100%.
You know what I mean? They at least it's all lies as far as where it came from. It's a lie. We had to juice it up a little bit for modern times, because who's going to want to look at that? Nobody. That's who. So they had to make it better.
Yes.
I mean? They had to make it
Sexify it a
better.
little bit,
And it's more about like it's all about how you sell it. It's all
Oh,
about
oh
image at
yeah.
this point. I mean, not only do so like they have like this, I guess it's like a telepathic way of telling like to the guy like what your perfect woman is, and essentially they mimic that, right? So they'll
Yeah.
mimic the way that they look, and they'll mimic the way that they act in your mind, and then you fucking buy a hook, line, and sinker, because why not? Why wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. I
I mean, they know
mean,
what they're doing,
yeah, you walk up to like your ideal woman.
right?
Why wouldn't you like, you might let a couple weird things slide.
You'll
I
be
mean,
you'll be simping real
yeah.
quick.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You definitely will. And I don't care how tough you are. Andrew Tate would be simping. You know what I mean? Like he would beat that dude down mentally. And they're also known to wear like Cenobite type costumes, like from Hellraiser, where they're like, skin tight leather, probably fucking nips out and the whole 9 yards. It's fantastic. And the funny thing is though, and I think this kind of goes to like men in general, is that they make no effort to conceal the fact that they're a demon at all. And dudes are still like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, nope, no problem. Like, no problem that you have goat hooves. Like, no, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
more
if
of a
we're going
top guy.
old school, yeah. I mean,
I'm more of the waist up kind of guy. I'm not really so worried about the legs at all.
yeah, no, no, no.
So, like they have signs of it too. Like you can tell right away. Like they have like the Maleficent style curved horns on top of their head, which is a fucking dead giveaway every time. 100%
Oh
of
yeah.
the time, if somebody's wearing that, they're a demon. 100% of the time. There's no 1% of the time where it's not.
No,
Unless
there's no
there's some
like,
like genetic
oh,
disorder
they
I'm
got,
unaware of.
there is actually.
Where you grow horns
Yeah, it's usually like a single horn, like out of your forehead.
like a unicorn.
Yeah,
That's where they
but
went.
it's like
They
off
turn into
centered.
people. Okay, it's awesome. And they have barbed tails, which in my head I imagine like the tail of like a stegosaurus or something like that. Where it's like spikes all on it. It's waving
Yeah.
around like a weapon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
was kind of like thought more like needles at the tip of the tail.
yeah, like a porcupine.
Yeah,
Oh God.
in a way. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like most of
Not
the
like that at
tail was
all.
like smooth or maybe has like ridges going down the top of it, and then the
Mm-hmm.
tip is where
Well,
the
maybe like I
barbs
said,
come
maybe
in.
they got like the triangle thing at the end that you see on all like like
Yeah.
comic book versions of the
Well, yeah,
fucking
that's
demons
the
and stuff.
problem with these things is that they're so popular in like science, like sci-fi and fantasy and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. It's kind of hard to separate like what the actual legend
Mm,
says they look like
right.
compared to how like for literally centuries now people have been drawing them as
Longer than
like
that
sex
now.
symbols.
Yeah, millennia now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been thousands of years that they've been talking about it, because everything on this fucking show
It's
goes
old as all
back.
hell.
It goes back millennia. It's more of a history show. We should just change the way the show is and just talk about like the history of cryptids, because that's all we ever
Yeah.
do. Is
All right.
talk
So
about
this week we're going to be talking about
in
Sumerians
9,000
again,
in
but this time
9,000
we're going to talk about
BC,
everything Sumerian.
right? Like from 9,000 BC is when it started. Like, oh God, like I don't want to talk about that. It's 1,000 years old, man. But so And not only do they have the barbed tails, they got the horns, their fucking eyes glow in the dark. You know what I mean? Like they're some sort of like skating rink at fucking, after 10 when all the parents are gone. Their fucking eyes are glowing in the fucking dark. And they have the quintessential bat wings that we
Yeah.
kind of mentioned earlier. You
Now
know what I mean?
they look a lot like the Draenei from World of Warcraft minus the bat wings. In case anyone plays that game. Horns, glowing eyes,
Oy,
hooves for feet.
that's so fucking nerdy. It's so nerdy. I
It's one of
can't.
my favorite races in the game, man.
It put my brain in safe mode like immediately. Like it was so nerdy. It's the nerdiest thing you've ever said. So like I was kind of saying before, the like as usual, the succubus definitely did not start out the way that we see them now.
No, they were far more horrifying.
Right. Yeah. Long ago, they definitely looked a lot different, right? So in the olden times, they were actually viewed as horrible and hideous creatures, man. So it went from horrible, hideous creature to stunning, perfect 10 dime piece.
Oh yeah, woman. Yeah. It went from like holding you down to you walking into your room, kind of like a full 180. What this creature actually did.
It's amazing. It's an amazing transformation.
Yeah,
good for them.
Yeah, they have a hell of a PR team, man.
Good for them. Like I'm so proud of them. Like that's how hard that is to do, to change your whole image like that.
Yeah. Especially when you're like, even with the new image, everyone knows you're evil. Yeah, but they're still like more than willing to accept you in. Like, come on.
You're like, well, I mean, you're not that bad.
Yeah, I mean,
because for the last 2,000 years, all that stuff's been run by men. So they're like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Fine. No, we're gonna take care of this. We have the power.
I can look past all this. I'm really good at compartmentalizing.
Right. Our brain's like a tackle box, if you will. It's tiny little compartments, and I just put
things in their place. Glowing eyes, just close your eyes. Horns, I can pretend. Yeah. I can pretend that they're.
Put some sunglasses on so I can see.
Yeah. I can pretend you glued them on.
How about this? I'm gonna paint eyeballs on your eyelids and just keep your eyes shut, and it look like you got regular eyes.
Yeah. You'll jump through hoops to get it to work.
Not only were they like horrible and hideous creatures, they were smaller than a regular person, because even back then people weren't as big as they are now. So
they were shorter.
Yeah, you're talking like 4 foot at this point, and they fucking crawl around like you see in all the horror movies nowadays. Where they're doing that weird crab walk. They did shit like that, and they didn't walk up right like a regular human. So they were a lot easier to spot.
Yeah, because they were like true monsters. They weren't out seducing you.
They were demons.
Yeah.
You don't think, like, when you hear that term, you don't think beautiful thing. You know what I mean? You think horrible, hideous, super fucking scary, nightmare stuff.
Yeah, like freeze you in your place, horrifying kind of.
Right. Like absolutely petrified.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say. Like the newer ones now, it's just so hard to like not see them as the media essentially has portrayed them for generations now, man.
It's another reason you can't trust the news.
Well, media in general,
they flip the script
TV,
on the succubus thing.
Comics,
now look at us. Yeah. The economy's in the shitter.
Yeah.
AI's taking over the planet.
AI's, yeah, exactly. They're trying to kill us, the whole nine, man. They're the real demons in all this. Though, in like modern times, the succubus has been viewed with, like we've been talking about, like massive amounts of seductive power and like immense, almost infectious charisma, along with, they're, like we've been saying again, they're good looks.
I can tell you from experience with all of those things, it's tough out there. It is. People don't know how to handle you.
No, I mean, dude, just look at me.
I am.
They have no idea.
I'm looking right at you, pal.
I mean, everything.
I don't like what I see at all.
I got that seductive look. I'm charismatic as all hell.
Yeah.
I got like classic, like good looks.
Your
It's just,
enunciation is off the charts.
yeah,
Your
like
reading comprehension.
yeah, these
Fantastic.
people, they just fall over when I walk in the room. There might as well be golden light behind me.
I mean, you should use that next time if you ever need to pick up a chick next time. Hey, what do you know how to do? I know how to read. I can read real good.
Yeah,
I can't
I can
pronounce the words very
enunciate.
well, but I
Yeah,
can read.
I can enunciate like a motherfucker.
Oh man, this guy can read.
Yeah,
300
I
years
drive
ago,
a
that was a big deal.
2010 Ford. Maybe I'm going places.
Damn.
But this, like we've been saying though, this is a far cry from like their original medieval description.
Right.
And they even go back farther than that, but
it does.
it also, but the medieval version gave them like raptor-like
Right.
feet. Yeah, the face is like a gargoyle.
By
Like
raptor, they mean bird. They don't mean like velociraptor. Like, that's not what they mean.
yeah, I mean
A
one and the
raptor's a bird.
same, really. I
Yeah.
mean the three
Well, they
claws with the
are.
one in the
Dinosaurs
back.
turn into birds. Everybody knows that. That's fact. Now.
Yeah, no, it's heresy is what that is.
What do you think? What do you think happened to them? Did they build like
They
spaceships?
left on a spaceship.
Yeah. Did they
and will
escape
come
the
back.
meteor?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Have you ever seen Rick and Morty when they come back? This is what's
Oh
going to
yeah.
happen.
Oh yeah. They did do that, didn't they?
Yeah. No, but their faces, yeah, they had the face of a gargoyle. It's sharp, jagged.
That's hilarious.
Just thinking about some of your exes, are you?
I just not even that. Like the next time I like get into an argument with somebody, like, you know what, buddy? Like you got the fucking face of a gargoyle. Like, what are you gonna do? Can't do anything.
Not much. See, that's
That's a knockout punch, man. Like you're done.
That's a mic drop, walk away. You won. They had sharp, jagged claws and were ugly as all sin.
Yeah.
Like just
They really
God.
turned that. They really turned it around.
Yeah. They found one of those cheap
Yeah. Zero
plastic surgeons.
I mean,
They started they started going to the gym.
yeah. Doing Pilates and
Yeah. It's strange how much this creature has changed over time, just word of mouth and
right.
everything like that. Because nowadays they could seduce men with their bodies and their words, and they are very like domineering. Sorry.
Okay.
And vengeful when wronged. So essentially,
Ooh.
if you turn them down, it's not going to end out well for you. Well,
So
either
then,
way, you
I mean,
run
if that's
into
how
one.
they look like, I don't imagine it went very well for them very often.
No, if you get away from them, if you turn them down, whatever.
So they were vengeful all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. If they didn't get
Dude,
exactly
you
what they wanted,
you got the feet of a bird. You know what I mean? You got claws for hands. I mean, come on, man. Like,
it's like I might be hard up, but I don't know if I'm.
that's like 7 beers I'm looking at right now. Good God.
I had another 7 to actually
What
bring
do you
home.
expect to happen? You can't walk around looking like that as a supernatural creature and be like, what's your job? Like to sleep with men? Or like, really? Uh-oh.
I don't know about this.
You might want to go talk to your guidance counselor because I think you picked the wrong career, man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that should have been.
Someone set you down the wrong path here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you. But they actually do take pride in their ability to please and manipulate men.
Okay. Well, see, like again, though, that seems like a very like archaic like aspect of it, of any kind of character like that was built thousands of years ago. You know what I mean? Like their job was to please men.
Yeah, to get something
written by guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, steal their soul, whatever.
Mhm.
Whatever version of because their tale does change from civilization to civilization, from year to year, that kind of thing.
Well,
Like a lot of other monsters.
a lot of other regular stories.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
once
lots of
civilization
religion
gets a hold of it, they change it to tweak their their people's belief systems and everything.
Right.
So
Right.
but this is in stark contrast to their more ancient counterparts, because succubi in these times were sneaky, malicious, and downright controlling of their victims.
Yeah, kind of goes back to the domineering
Yeah.
kind of thing, like dominatrix
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Yeah, they would trick you into it, and then once they got you, essentially get the claws into you, you're done.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had like the whole dominatrix thing now, like so they kept like the demon look and the skin tight leather, but they changed everything else.
Yeah.
Like we like that part.
Yeah, but now
It's all
let's
these other
move.
parts we need to change.
Yeah, yeah.
Edit.
Shave your legs,
We need to
brush your
enhance.
hair. Yeah.
Would it kill
Now,
you to put some
they
makeup on? I
were.
mean, would it kill you?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, come on.
Come on.
New age. Yeah, that all natural look isn't in style right now.
Mm-mm.
Now, they were known to be sex crazed, and they had no interest in the men they targeted. They just essentially used them for their own pleasure.
Okay.
And they did this,
Yeah.
to corrupt the righteous and to gain life force of the,
Yeah.
the poor man and potentially even have children.
Yeah, it was definitely in an attempt to kind of like a slight against God
Oh yeah,
kind of thing. You know, I mean, like they would start targeting like the most devout kind of people, and it's kind of like
yeah,
the
it was.
temptation kind
Yeah,
of story
it's
again. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's that whole, oh, you believe so hard in your children, talking to God. I'm going to pull some of your most faithful,
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna
tempt them
corrupt
into
them.
hell.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Exactly.
corrupt them. Yep.
But another term for the succubus is like an earth wanderer.
It's a pretty cool name.
And yeah, actually,
Isn't
I
that
thought
what
that was
isn't that what like Samuel Jackson wanted to be like at the end of Pulp
it,
Fiction? He's like, I'm just gonna wander
yeah,
the earth.
yeah, just a
Like from
just a
Kung Fu.
hobo.
Like from Kung Fu. Like, I'm just gonna wander the earth.
Yeah, you just wanted to be a hobo handing out
Dude,
knowledge.
that means you're homeless, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it means you're a bum. That's what that means.
But like with the earth wanderer, like she would look for potential victims by putting on like an elaborate disguise as a beautiful woman and seduce them. So a lot of their stuff is staying. It's just how they get to it, essentially.
Can you imagine if they had Instagram filters back then? We'd be in serious trouble.
Oh yeah,
Maybe nothing but demons walking the earth. Nothing left.
Instagram filters are the devil in themselves.
It was created for succubus by succubus. And it had to have been. Because some of those women do in fact look like gargoyles.
Yeah, once you take that filter off.
God. Oh God.
But much like during the witch trials, where women who seduced men were accused of being an actual succubus in disguise.
Right.
And of course, they had to be punished by fire, hanging, whatever they decided at the time was a good.
They kind of did
punishment.
everything. They didn't really. They kind of threw the book at them. I mean, of ideas.
Literally, sometimes,
Of like
you're a
horribly
succubus, and they
punishing
took
a
the
person.
book they had and threw it in their face.
Well, I mean, like these descriptions come from somewhere. It's like, what did they look like? Gargoyles? Do they have razor claws? They have the feet of a chicken. Yeah, I mean, like, no.
And they're
Then
probably
they're not. They're probably not a succubus, man. Like it's in your own.
No, but see, that's why then you have that convenient little thing where it's like, oh, they disguise themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can when you're making up the story, you can build in your own loopholes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really just down hard to kill a person,
I mean, you'll get there. You'll find a way.
Yeah, you'll come up with whatever excuse you need.
And if you're committed to it, you're going to find a way to get it done. That's a guarantee, pal.
Yeah.
Ask Dom or ask any of those guys. Where there's a will, there's a way, I guess.
Terrible but true.
I mean, like what you were talking about too, like the succubus even showed up, and we talked about this before in like our witch hunting episode many moons ago now, that the infamous book, right, the Malus Maleficarum, right, which is like the witch hunter book.
I still think that's a pretty cool fucking name, man.
It's an awesome name.
Yeah,
it's an absolutely
like even now
badass name.
Still a pretty dope name.
Yeah, it's a very awesome name. The other cool name for it is the Witch's Hammer, if you remember.
Yeah,
now that is cool.
Yeah, I mean both of them. That's Witch's Hammer though. Like I almost feel like you have to have there's like a band name. You have to have like a gimmick,
right?
witch's hammer. But
Yeah, I
like
mean, if you're like
Malice
fantasy metal,
Maleficarum,
yeah, if
yeah.
you're like fantasy metal, Witch's Hammer is a pretty dope name.
Oh
I
yeah,
bet
like
you dollars to donuts. There's a band out there called Witch's Hammer. I
I'll have to
guarantee it.
oh dude,
I
one or
guarantee
the
it.
other. One of them is there's a band out there named one of those two names.
It might be both,
Yeah.
and they're doom metal, and it's real slow, and it's real fucking boring. I guarantee that too. I hate those kinds of bands. But so like in that it says not only does the creature like have sex with the male victim, right? But like you said, it harvests their semen, but they never really go into Maleficarum, like what they're actually doing with it, from what I can
Yeah.
tell. I mean, they might, maybe I just missed it, but what are they doing with it?
Well, I mean, there's certain legends saying that they want to get impregnated to have a half demon, half human baby. I mean,
Right,
there's other legends where the incubus turns into a succubus and then impregnates a human woman.
right.
So, or is that just their kink? I mean,
Ooh,
that would you.
oh my goodness.
But in terms of like actual lore, I think that's what it is. They're trying to get pregnant to either make more succubus or more demons or something along those lines.
Right. So like if you like I don't know if you're like an X-Files guy like me, but they had an episode starring my favorite person, Bruce Campbell, in it where he was an incubus and they kept having babies, but it wasn't working, so he kept burying him in the yard. And then like he got tricked by an incubus. So it was succubus on incubus, and then they had like the perfect demon child, and then I think she killed him. Good God.
I did not see that episode.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. It was a pretty intense one. It was like just one of the side stories too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's not even like a main plot.
no, it's not.
That
So
sounds way better than most of the main plot of X Files.
right. I mean, like the book, like I said, doesn't really go into it all that much. And I guess it doesn't really need to for what they're gonna do to these poor people.
No, they don't. It's
Yeah.
generalized. Here's what to look for,
Mhm.
so you can kill them. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that.
No, they're just gonna do whatever they want anyway.
Oh
So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
really no point in going into minute detail because it doesn't matter. They've already made up their mind the minute you've been accused. So it didn't really matter
No,
anymore at
no.
that point. But like every other fucking thing that we talk about here, this goes back really, really long years and years and years and years ago. I mean, it's
You
forever.
cut in that SpongeBob meme like
It's forever and
one
ever and
infinity later.
ever. So
Years.
the crazy thing is though is like this like a lot of other stuff too, which leads me to believe that these cultures weren't so isolated at some point. Like they were more connected than we think they were. Is that they exist all over the world, man. Like there's stories in like every continent about the
Oh
same
yeah, I
kind of
mean every
creature.
civilization has a story, at least a version of the succubus.
Right.
It might not be word for word the same,
Mm-hmm.
but they do have a version of it.
Right. Exactly. So like for instance, like the Native Americans, they got theirs. They got in.
Oh yeah, they did. They did.
But these
I
ones
think they might actually have a couple.
they're called the deer women.
Yeah, I think just real quick on them. I think what it is I can't remember. It was like a witch or something that would lure young men into the woods to kill them.
Yep. That's exactly what it was. But where we live too, there's plenty of deer women around. They're all wearing like the camo hat and jackets and shit. Those are also deer women. They love it.
The ones with the damn deer sticker on the back of their windshield.
Dude, they're really into it. They're really, really into it. I don't know if they're Native American. I'm just saying that they're really into deer and they're women. They're deer women. And the Greeks have their own too, which is called a Lamia. But I was starting to think because there's this movie, a Sam Raimi movie called Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah,
You ever seen that?
yeah, I have.
Where she gets the curse put on her and who comes to find her? The Lamia is the name of the demon.
Oh, is it? I
But
didn't
I'm but
actually
I'm
make that reference
but they
connection.
don't I mean they don't really show it, but They do, and they kind of don't. But it gives the impression that the Lamia is male. So I don't know if that was like inspired by that, but that's the first thing that I saw in my mind when I read Lamia. I was like, that's what they had in Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah.
That's what it was called.
Well, I mean, it kind of goes back to that whole, they could be one or the other, depending on need arised,
Yeah, but I don't.
Because I want to say
it wasn't after for sex. It was after to like the title of the movie, Drag Her to Hell.
Yeah.
That's what it was trying to do.
Because I want to say most of the time the Lamia is a female, but I could be wrong on that.
Stupid Lamia.
Yeah,
do they spit too?
Probably.
Is that what they do? And a lot of the stories, though, like with these creatures more specifically, is like a lot of it. Like the weird part of it is like a lot of it evolved essentially separately, but the stories, like if you like date them back, are all within like a really close time period. You know what I mean? Like if you trace them all back, so like each culture pretty closely created the same kind of character at the same exact time on different continents, all simultaneously.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go the route of like all this is real,
yeah,
there had to have been
I do want to go that route. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there had to have been something inspiring all that. Just like, why does so many cultures have, dragons in them? They might look different, but they're still a dragon.
Yeah.
There's something had to inspire.
Game of Thrones inspired them.
Oh, is that what it is? Game of Thrones came out like 10 million years ago, 10,000 years ago. And
yeah. That's how boring it is.
That's how long it is.
It's fucking 100,000 years long, and it's super fucking boring. And I don't get why people like that show at all. I don't get it. I don't get the barbarian age thing. Why people love that so much. The only thing that was any good like that was Conan the Barbarian and the Destroyer. That's because it was Schwarzenegger. So
yeah, but
there you go.
Yeah, then again, it was Schwarzenegger, but then he had like that.
You put Arnold Schwarzenegger in any time period, and he fits right in. He's a chameleon to time. It doesn't matter.
He looks like he belongs everywhere.
Everywhere in every culture at any point in time. Arnold will slide right in undetected.
Yeah. Walk right by you, wouldn't even notice.
He would. You're not giving him enough credit for his acting job.
He did have like the stereotypical like perfect barbarian look to him too, though.
Yeah, he was yoked and tan.
Yeah. Never wore like
all barbarians
or anything, just running around with this giant ass sword.
I mean, he was made out of armor. He was like 400 pounds of muscle. He was humongous. And so, I mean, I think just the fact that all those places were kind of creating that same story at the same time is pretty incredible. Oh, and yeah. Like, besides the seduction, the demon-like features on it, the stealing the sperm out of men for no reason that I can conceive of anyways right now, other than having a kid, is that all of the main succubus stories, though, can be traced back to one woman. Lilith.
Yeah.
Is her name. And I didn't know that she was a succubus, to be honest with you.
Yeah, first bride of Adam.
Yeah.
In the biblical
so that's text. How old that is. That's how far back we're going in this episode. The fucking Garden of Eden. Like, literally the creation of the first 2-3 people to ever live. That's how far back we're going.
Yeah, we like to keep a theme. We really do,
Yeah.
Lilith, like, she is without question the most popular seductress of all time, and is known to be the mother of all, like every succubus.
I thought. I mean, I don't know. That's debatable. I don't know if she's the like. I don't know if she's
this is biblical
time. Yeah, Cleopatra. I thought she was. There's sort of like a fucking war over her.
Yeah, if you're going by like the Bible, she is the most popular. Like,
okay. All right.
Like the original succubus.
Gotcha.
If you go into like ancient Sumeria, it's a whole different thing.
Right.
This lady was like super popular pretty much the entire ancient world, though. She appears in the writings of like several different cultures: the Egyptians, the Greeks, as we've already mentioned.
With the Lamia.
Yeah, like the Romans, obviously the Christians,
Yep.
and the oldest of the civilizations, which I just said, was the Sumerians.
Yeah, but they're kind of the OGs on everything.
Yeah, they had like dibs on all the coolest monsters.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that even them, like, I'm sure they themselves didn't come up with all of this. They're just the first ones to write it down. So
Pretty
therefore, they
much.
get the credit for literally everything that's ever been done.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
pretty
they
much. Yeah.
do. I
Well, because
mean,
before them, everything was like oral. It was an oral. What's the word I'm looking
tradition.
for?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, and they painted shit on the caves and all that.
Yeah,
So it was like pictographs.
all the old stories were told. They were never written down, so they changed.
Yeah.
Like we've said a lot of times with um
Anything.
the telephone game.
Yeah. Literally all of it.
You don't like that one part of the story? We'll change it to something you do like. There you
Dude,
go.
the guy who came up with the idea for Slender Man literally said, I change it all the time.
Yeah. Not to mention, this is fake.
Yeah, he's doing it all anyways. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm changing it. Kind of like this.
Yeah, he's like, he literally said this is fake, and people still think that Slender Man exists.
At least he's upfront about it, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm making all this up.
Yeah, 100%.
People still believe it.
I'm lying.
Yeah.
But by all means.
Yeah.
Well, in the Jewish writings, Zohar Lilith, right?
Okay.
Adam's first wife, who mated with the archangel Samael.
Well, you don't mess with the Zohar.
No, you do not.
Okay.
No. He'll drop a piranha down his pants so far, so fast.
I wanted to squeeze that in.
Well, in Samael, you know, Lucifer, one and the same, I do believe.
No.
I'm pretty sure Samael is another name for Lucifer. Why don't you look that up while I keep talking?
Go on. Yeah, I'm gonna fact check that immediately.
And you know, refused to go back to the garden, you know, the Garden of Eden with Adam, and then she would be turned into a succubus because she pissed off God, essentially. In addition to this story of Lilith in Jewish tales, she's also notorious for baby snatching and had uncontrollable, you know, female sexuality, which back then was a big no-no when the Bible was getting written.
Right.
And before like all this, though, the Sumerians believed that Lilith was a goddess of fertility and of witchcraft, not necessarily like she wasn't bad.
Okay.
With a lot of other gods, you know, I mean, she had her bad side and her good side.
Okay.
Depending on, you know, which side you fell on, you could see her differently.
By the way, you nailed it. That actually is the same.
Thank you.
All right. He's also known as the venom or poison of God.
Yeah. The most powerful, the most beautiful.
He's the funniest.
Yeah.
He wins all the races.
He could dance like a motherfucker too.
He sings the songs that he wants to sing. Everything.
But you know, it wasn't until the Assyrians and the Babylonians came around that Lilith was associated with the darker aspects of their faiths, and connected her to, you know, like dark demons. I don't know if there's light demons, but that's how they worded it, anyways, for them.
Right.
And the Greeks, however, you know, they gave her more of a in-depth story.
Okay.
That was one thing they were good at. The Greeks were a hell of story writers.
They were. I'll give them that.
You can't deny them that. They love the backstory.
No, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have Kratos. So,
pretty much.
I mean, we wouldn't. You know what's funny too? Is like I've been watching Stargate SG-1, and the dude Christopher Judge is what's his name, Taluk, something like that.
I know who you're talking about.
He's got the gold crest on his forehead.
Yeah,
he does the voice of Kratos. So now every time he talks, all I can imagine is like it's Kratos in space. You know what I mean? Like,
Kratos in space.
That's all I can imagine.
Dude, that would be hilarious.
Like Kratos going through a Stargate.
Yeah. Just being all like sullen all the time, just walk around moody. It should be funny as hell. I mean, and even in like the show, he's not real animated either.
Dude, he sounds exactly like Kratos.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing a voice for Kratos.
No,
That's
that's
just
his real
voice.
That's like his real voice. He might be like deepening it a little bit, but it's not much.
No.
There's not much.
But even in the show, like the dude he plays doesn't even have that much.
He's very stoic,
Yeah.
like Kratos.
Yeah. So
I heard that they're making a live action of that and that he's going to be in it as Kratos.
really.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, I know that.
He's actually a big dude, so it kind of fits.
He's got to be. Well, no, he worked real well for like aged Kratos.
Well, SG1 was in like the 2000s.
Was it?
Early 2000s.
It feels like it was longer than that.
Because Stargate feels like it came out really long ago.
Before I was born.
It wasn't that old, but
it feels that old. I know it isn't, but Jesus.
Before I started giving a shit, that's when about anything. That's when it came out.
No, my stepdad used to love that show, man.
I don't remember how we got there. I don't even remember how we got there.
Dude, we started talking about like how much the Greeks. Oh, because the Greeks and Kratos.
Yeah, okay, there it is. That really spiraled out of control.
Quick too, real quick. But because they love to give their characters story and in a theme and all motivation, all that.
Yeah.
So Lilith was so beautiful in Greek mythology that she attracted the eyes of Zeus, and his jealous wife Hera.
Right. That wasn't saying much about Zeus.
No, but Zeus always went. Yeah, he always went for like the most beautiful woman, and then Hera quite literally always catches him, and she is just 24/7 mad with this man. And she never takes it out on him. She always fucks.
She's banging everybody on Earth. He's not hiding it either, really.
No. But like, she never takes it out on Zeus. She always takes it out on like the women that he's forced to have sex with him.
Or their kids.
Yeah.
Because he always has kids with him. He's like betting 1,000 for knocking chicks up, Zeus.
Like yeah, dude.
He never misses.
He transformed into a damn swan and got somebody knocked up.
What?
Oh yeah.
That's a real story.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Dude, I think it was it.
That is an unfortunate story.
Oh, there's a bunch of them like that. Yeah, I think he turned him. Was it a cow or did he turn the girl into a cow? I can't remember now. Yeah. I think he turned the girl into a cow. Just to give it like perspective on Hera. The one he turned into a cow, she sent like a bunch of fucking flies to attack it for like the rest of its life.
Right.
She's not real forgiving.
No.
And she turned Lilith into the Lamia. Yeah. Who was cursed to roam the world, seducing men and eating babies.
Right. Jesus.
Yeah, she was, they never come out well when it comes to if Hera's in the story, they are not doing well.
I remember what she did to Hercules. I remember what she did.
Oh yeah. Well, kind of gave him. Well, that's kind of where I think that
and our good friend
Kratos,
Kevin Sorbo. I remember what she did to him.
Yeah. Well, like she's the one who pushed Hercules into the murderous raids that killed his family.
I didn't even know Hercules did that.
Yeah, that's why he had to do the 9 labors or 11 labors.
I mean, that's the only part I remember was him having to go through.
Yeah, it was essentially punishing Zeus for having, extramarital relations. She sent Hercules into like a fucking rage,
like roid rage.
Yeah, kind of like what we just talked about. Kratos did the same thing.
Oh yeah, he did. Well, yeah, because Ares made him do it.
Yeah,
which makes sense because it's the same mythology.
Oh yeah,
it's all Greek, so
yeah, it's nothing but tragedies for them.
Yep.
More stories of Lilith are where we are going to pick up the story of the Succubus next week.
Yeah, I don't fucking love that at all. We're gonna have to do part 2 of this.
Yes,
I don't love it. I don't love it.
But don't worry, dude, because I have the Chupacabra waiting on standby.
Yeah. Yeah, he's standing by the side of the fucking road, but his thumb out, so somebody will pick him up because it ain't gonna be me.
Because what I've been doing is strategically, I had several weeks out researched.
Yeah.
I've been strategically giving you less and less to work with. So eventually you'll have no other choice.
Why do you think I kept having
technical difficulties.
Quote unquote.
Just trying to
Technical
curse this topic so we
I,
don't have to
I
talk
was just
about
trying to put it off as long as humanly possible before like I even considered just like not doing the show anymore. Like, just so I didn't have to talk about this. I'll save it for the chupacabras when I'll announce my retirement. Well,
it's been good.
welcome
People.
back to another edition, and we're talking about the chupacabra, and that's it for me. Have a good day. And then
Yeah,
I'm
then
just gonna sign
I'm
off.
fine. Yeah, I mean, I'll take over from there.
You're not gonna
I'll
see
talk
it coming
about
now.
Chupacabra and
You're not gonna see it coming.
the movie Species and all kinds of
a
things.
chupacabra.
It has to do with Chupacabra.
Species is about aliens.
Yes, I know that.
So, wait, don't you fucking dare tell me that they're saying that the chupacabra is an alien. Don't you dare tell me that.
Okay, I won't. No, it has to do.
That's good for your health. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
Don't worry. When I finally send it over to you, it'll have many Chupacabra as an alien references in it.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Definitely go and follow us on YouTube. Tons of new videos up. Check us out.
Yeah, we're pretty much caught up, right? Or are we still a little bit?
No, we got like maybe 1 or 2 behind, but not 9 like it was. So
Yeah,
we're getting there.
Progress.
We're getting there. And go follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook at Gamma Ray Podcast. And as always, we love you. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch
See
you
y'all
next
later.
time. Bye.